Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stop what you're doing. Stop playing the game. Get up out the bed. Stop cooking. Turn the basketball down for a little bit. Because over here, it's just hoops. As y'all can see, me and Darion are in different locations. Spring break going on. Both of us at the crib with it. But got a lot of basketball to talk about. A lot been going on over these last couple of days. But before we get into it, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm feeling good. Glad to be home. Get to be home and watch basketball. That's two pluses. But
Right?
just good to get a break from school, relax a little bit. Uh, Undivided time to basketball, and it's always good to relax, take a break.
You got schoolwork to do over breaks too?
I do. I have an assignment my teacher hasn't assigned yet, and I just got some meetings and stuff with some advisors for scheduling next year, and
Right. Know how that go.
yeah,
Um, Wait, but your teacher like assigning an assignment over the break?
Yeah, because we were supposed to have class today, but he canceled because he said he fractured his ankle or something. Hope,
Mm.
hope he gets better.
Hey,
But
that's tough.
yeah, that's very tough.
Nah, I'm laughing at this messed up. Go ahead.
But
What'd you
he
say?
was like, he's gonna give us an assignment to do over break just so we could get our participation points. So yeah,
Right, right,
so
right.
probably just something, read a little article and post a little
Bit busy work discussion,
busy
respond
work,
to a classwork. I mean, a
literally.
classmate type.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got a couple exams to review for, but definitely not stopping the basketball over here. All the devices being put to use, 4 games on at a time at all times. It's hard though. I,
it
I mean,
is.
it's bro, it's so hard to keep up with everything that's going on. And then you look away from a game for 1 second and you look back at the box score and it's a 2 point game. You done missed the
Yeah,
comeback. So
no, it's hard. It's like
yeah, but
can't even
what's
go
that?
you can't even go out and do nothing. It's like you gotta be two did the whole time.
Facts
Like you
gotta be
said,
posted.
you look away 1 second, it's a whole new ball game.
It's a whole new game.
Yeah. But nah, it's fun, but it is a lot to keep up with for sure.
Yeah, facts. Before we dive into the games that we've seen and stuff, I got Mari's question of the day for us. Um, if you were to be able to bring on one person outside of the basketball world onto the podcast, who would it be and why?
That's a tough question. I like that question. I would there's I have two answers.
Right,
I would go one, either somebody just super funny, like Kevin Hart or Drewski,
right.
a funny, good laugh episode, because who doesn't want good laughs? Or
Yep.
I would go. Can't think of anybody in particular, but like some type of entrepreneur, somebody super good with money. And, just ask them questions about investments and how to save, what's a good spend and what's not. Try to get something out of having them in our presence and better myself for the future.
Facts. Yeah, W idea. I kind of went on a whole different path from both of that. I was thinking I'm bringing on Uzi. I
Not
mean,
bad.
obviously, favorite rapper of all time. Um, gonna be entertaining. Can joke around with Uzi. As soon as he feel the vibe, he'll be open up and be a cool guest. I feel like. Um, but I also wanted to ask basketball related. You know, a dream guest that's not a star
Dream guest.
because I feel like if we said star, I'll be saying LeBron right away. Obviously, I'm sure you're saying Kevin Durant. Yeah.
What's considered
So
not a star?
I would say like what a star is. Come on, like
Okay. I'd go Jared McCain. He just
mm,
his identity and his connectiveness with people. He's very
right,
open, and I don't feel like we'd have to break ice with him. I feel like he'd just be able to jump right in and get in where he fits in. And
right.
I think he'd be a fun person to have.
Uh, I don't know, bro. I honestly didn't even have an answer to this question. I was thinking, I mean, obviously, like Jeff Teague is a great guy to have on here from Indy.
Yeah.
We see how funny he is with his stories and stuff. Um, I mean,
Is there anybody
he's
else?
he's not a star anymore. I mean, he's not like I would say Derrick Rose. I mean, like
That's good.
yeah, I like, bro. If I could get Derrick Rose would be like a dream guest. He would be a top five star without no star, bro. Derrick Rose on here would be
Derrick
that'd be
Rose,
comp.
that'd be great.
Hey, that'd be comp.
That'd be great.
Yeah, bro. Moms was talking to me about Big Ten tournament being in Indy and asking like how he could get involved, and she was like, uh, y'all should just go out there and just set up a table out there and outside the stadium and get to recording. I was like, I don't think it worked like that.
I mean, you could sit out there, but trying to get people to stop and all that, you're not gonna get no players or coaches.
Right, right.
So it's really just gonna be fans stating their opinions.
Being
But
in the way.
yeah, you would just be in the way and got people looking at you crazy and whatnot, but can't let people's that doesn't affect you. But you
Right, for
would just
sure.
be in the way and it'd just be awkward. Like you just be there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but finding a way into well, it's hard. Big Ten tournament, they don't allow camera. No, that's a lie. NCAA, they don't do cameras.
Mhm.
Big Ten, we could get involved with Big Ten over time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes time just building ourselves up, and with due time, we'll have guests on here and stuff.
Yeah,
We working our way up. We still just getting started. We about what just over a month in, I believe.
yeah, just over. Yep.
Just over a month in. So, we building up and getting going. But we already speaking about Big Ten. So let's start with Big Ten tournament action that we've seen over the past couple of days. Big Ten is going to be in the semifinals
Yep.
coming up. Yeah, semifinals coming up. Big Ten and SEC are going into the semifinals. I think everybody else going to the finals. I believe Big East for sure, Big 12 for sure. Um, what other conference am I missing? Um,
ACC,
ACC.
quarterfinal.
ACC is going to the finals. So yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but Big Ten games so far, we got Maryland advancing. Both of our picks are still alive. Wisconsin, and Maryland. What games were you able to tune into from Big Ten action?
Well, earlier this week, I caught my Hoosiers. Caught them on a bad day, unfortunately. Just a rim on the lid, just a rough shooting night. Hopefully, we can still make the tournament. I think we'll be a last four in and have to travel to Dayton to get into the actual tournament. But
Yeah,
hopefully we could get that at least. But that loss hurts. But I think USC losing to Duke, I think that helps because if USC would have knocked off Duke, I think they would have got in.
right.
But that
Y-
helped.
Yeah, all the people, all the teams on the bubble is gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
The bracket selection show is Sunday, right?
Sunday. Yep.
Yep, Sunday. So that'll be definitely interesting to see how that played out. I was able to catch that IU Oregon game too. I tuned in right when Oregon started to pull away. Yeah, IU just struggled to score down the stretch. Oregon had no problem scoring down the stretch. So I mean, it was game of runs, and all of these games have been like that.
Yeah, they have
Um, Today, one game that was not like that: Maryland versus Illinois.
Maryland.
Dominance from the get go. I mean, they did everything right. Offense was clicking, getting stops, getting out of transition, offensive rebounds, steals, blocks, like everything that you could ask for from a successful team. They did it tonight.
Yeah, Maryland looks scary. I just tuned in. I was out with my siblings, but I just checked. They were cooking. I was like, oh, what is going on?
Yeah,
But yeah, they they did everything right. They played a perfect ball game.
Right. Against the Illinois team that's coming off of a game scoring 100 plus points, holding on to 65. I mean, you know, they won by almost 40 tonight. They were up by almost 40 tonight. Only ended up winning by 20 something. You put the reserves in, games
Yeah,
start shifting a little bit.
that
But
they won by 40. That
they
okay.
won by they won by 40.
Uh,
Um did
that
you
Illinois,
did you see any Michigan State?
I didn't see the Michigan State game.
Me neither. Me neither.
A 10-point win over Oregon. I didn't check box score, nothing really. But Michigan State is, I expected them to be able to come out with a win. They have Wisconsin today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, they have Wisconsin. I think that's going to be a game.
Yeah.
That's going
And now that it's less, now that we're semifinals and finals, there's less games going on. You could really,
yeah,
really
now you
lock
can,
in on a game now. Now,
yeah,
now we get to that nitty gritty.
you could really choose a game and focus on it and
Right.
really see what's going on.
Right.
Speaking of Wisconsin, big win, UCLA. They had a pretty dominant win as well. They won by 16. They they just had a gap the entire game and wouldn't let UCLA in. Especially out of halftime. They came out of halftime. They went into halftime and coming out on a nice run, coming out hot, knocking down threes, getting to the basket, and they just look comfortable. So I think I'm ready for this game tomorrow with Michigan State.
Yeah.
It's gonna
That's
be
gonna be a banger. And then on the other side, we got Maryland, Michigan.
that's gonna be
Uh,
that's gonna be a
that's gonna be
game
a banger
too.
too. I mean, the Michigan Purdue game today, I was tuned in early in the first half, and then Alabama came on, and
Hmm.
that got all my attention. I got on the main TV, took Purdue off, and then I looked back at the score after halftime, and Purdue was down 15. And I tuned in a little bit once Bama got up today, and they also had a similar situation. IU lit on the rim. They produced some pretty good shots. Where I mean, the hustle was there. It wasn't a lack of effort, basically. They had offensive rebounds, multiple possessions in one, and it was just a lit on the rim situation. They couldn't get buckets, and Michigan was just clicking on the offensive side.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score. I seen parts of the game. I wasn't able to go full undivided attention,
Yeah.
but I th- they a lot of what I seen was just some mistakes and just getting out hustled, outplayed by Michigan. Michigan just looked like they wanted it more. Um, I seen Braden Smith in the huddle talking to his team. He was getting on them because there was no energy on that side of the ball. And in a tournament setting like this, you got to have energy every night, even if well, this their first game, isn't it? Yeah, that was their.
No,
Oh, they
no, no.
played.
They played USC.
They did play USC, and USC gave them a run. So
Yeah.
even with you being tired and all that, this is an everyday tournament. You got to give your all every day. And
Mhm.
today they just didn't. The energy wasn't there. They weren't there.
Yeah. One of speaking of you being, I mean, you saying, talking about fatigue and being tired and stuff. You texted me yesterday when Creighton was in that double OT game. I didn't see the whole game, but when I tuned in, you could see the exhaustion on the floor.
Yeah.
It looked like the fifth game of a win streak playing fives in open court. You know what I mean? Like it had, holding the shorts, just digging it out defensively, and you could just see the way that them boys was running that they had no more gas in the tank. They was running on fumes.
And that's the hard part about these tournaments is you have games like that, then you wake up the next day, you got to do it again.
Got to do it again
And especially into
against
this,
a team that could be coming in kind of fresh.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially at this point, you're playing a team this could be their first game.
Yeah.
They're coming off a blowout win, so they didn't
Hmm.
even, their starters have been sitting, and
Right.
your starters just played almost an hour of basketball.
Yeah.
So
Hard basketball.
hard, yeah.
Hard basketball.
So that's the hard part with these tournaments, but it's where the dogs are made. Even with Creighton coming off that double overtime, knocked off UConn, they're advancing to the final.
Hmm.
So, I mean, maybe. The double overtime helps, it helps you realize we can pull through, tighten up on the little mistakes that got you to that point, and then you execute, don't have to go through it again.
Yeah, it's definitely, obviously you're not practicing at
No,
all
no.
during this time. It's just so much film. You get done with a game, you're watching, you're gonna go home, sleep, film,
So
film,
you
like
think they
recover, film.
you think they get to sleep and then go to film, or you think they right to it?
No, especially the teams that play the night games. I
Hmm.
bet it's recovery, sleep, film the next day because every team that plays at night has a later game in the day.
Yeah,
Uh, so there's time in between for film, and I feel like that's you have to get the sleep in. Like
you do gotta sleep.
you have to get the sleep in. That's the only way these guys are going to be able to perform the next day. That's the number one form of recovery. So, but while we're on Big East, I want to talk about the Marquette and St. John's game.
That was a game.
Um, this was a dogfight.
Yeah, it was.
Like both of these teams are teams that don't shoot the 3-point shot very well. And, I just saw scrappy basketball the whole time. Like guys diving on the floor, whole bunch of loose balls. It was a battle. And St. John's pulled away at the end, but it was still like, it didn't feel like that during the game, watching the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was watching this Duke UNC. Um, what was the other two? I forget the other two, but they were all on my phone, and I was seeing this, and St. John's was down. They were down like 10
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh wow. But I checked again later. They was up 10. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dang. And like you said, they don't shoot the ball. Neither team shoots the ball well. So it's which team is getting to the basket, playing harder, winning it.
Right.
And St. John's, well coached team. Both teams are well coached,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
St. John's well coached team, they managed to do it again, pull it out again. And they're gonna have another dogfight with Creighton. Creighton can shoot the three ball a little better, but they're gonna have to put up another big fight.
Yeah. I think both of these teams are going to struggle in the tournament, though,
Yeah, they are.
because of their lack of 3-point shooting ability. I think out of this conference, I think I might have Creighton going the farthest out of a team in the Big East. Um, I I've watched Marquette 3 games now in a row. The game against St. John's where they lost by 2, the game against Xavier where they won by 2, and then obviously the game against St. John's again today. And it's not a team that I'm really impressed with, and that I would really be scared of in the tournament. They're going to be scrappy. They have a lot of size, athleticism, but on the offensive side of the ball, you congest that paint, and it's really hard for them to score. Cam Jones is their guy. Lefty can probably one of the only guys that is really a threat from deep.
Mhm.
Um, Not a threat. Guys can shoot,
A
but a consistent,
consistent.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a team that scares me in a tournament. St. John's, I think they're Marquette on a higher level though. I think they can make a deeper run. They're another scrappy team, probably a little bit better shooting the ball, you could say. Highest scoring team in the Big East. So they might be a little more of a threat, but I think Creighton out of this conference is the scariest team for me.
Yeah. And I mean, I would fear St. John's a little bit too, because of how they're coached.
Yeah.
The coach is gonna, he's been in this position. He's gonna figure something out. I think he's what, 75? Something like
Yeah.
that.
He up there.
And so he's been in this a long time. He knows what he's doing. Um, I think he'll find a way to draw up something, execute something. And like you said, they're a scrappy team. They're gonna play you hard all 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think some teams, even with it being a tournament setting, they're just not used to that scrappiness that a team like this will provide.
Yeah.
I think that will help them in a run
Yeah, bro. We got Creighton St. John's tomorrow, right? Got to be
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow in the final. Who you got?
Uh, I like Who do we? I think I had St. John's winning.
I was about to say that was a test. You better stick with your prediction. We both had St. John's. I'm going St. John's tomorrow. We're both alive. We're alive in every conference. Big
Yeah, we
Ten,
are.
you had Wisconsin. I had Maryland.
Yep,
Well, hopefully they meet in the final. That would be a
that'd be
good little
great.
matchup for
That'd
us.
be great.
SEC, obviously you had Auburn. I had Bama. What else? Big East, we had both had St. John's. ACC, both had Duke. And Big East, we both had Houston. Which one you want to jump to next? We got three more conferences that we haven't talked about.
Um, I don't have much to say about Houston. They look dominant. 30 ball
Yeah.
BYU.
Okay. Let's hop into Big Ten as a whole. So Iowa State versus BYU might be game of what I've seen over the past 2 days. This game, bro, the offense that was played was on a level that I haven't seen in a long time. Like the 3 point shooting from both teams, BYU shot 50% from three, 18 for 36. Like not on a small clip. They shot 36 threes and hit 50% of them and only won by 4 points. Um, Iowa State shot like 41% from three, but shot 56% from the field. I mean, this was one of the best offense. We said before going into this tournament that when BYU play, it's going to be a good game. And I mean, this game was dude on Iowa State. I forget his first name, Jones. He came out hot in the first half, couldn't miss from three, cooled down in the second half though. Then BYU as a team heated up, wasn't missing any threes, and it was truly a game of runs. I thought Iowa State was in control for a while, and then here came BYU firing on all cylinders. And yeah, bro, that was my game of the past 2 days for sure.
Yeah, you texted me and said when you said both these teams might score 100, I was like, "What?" I had to go ahead and tune in. I was coming out of a meeting, but yeah, that was a great game. Both teams shooting that high from three is crazy. Uh, for BYU, usually is a good game. Today, I think they were just exhausted, tired. But I mean, that Houston team, they're just dominant. I just knew they were gonna walk through this division. I just feel like they overpower every team in this division. I don't think there's anybody that can compete with them. And
I mean, I think the game against Arizona could be a good game if Arizona is playing at their highest caliber. That's the thing, though. They have to be playing at their highest caliber. And I mean, Houston against BYU today, it was honestly like they just dogged them.
they
Like
did.
they had more dog. Like on defense, BYU struggled to create good shots. Houston was just everywhere, getting out in fast break and ones. They couldn't defend Houston. I mean, it was just on all every asset of the game. It was Houston.
How many points did BYU score versus Iowa State?
96.
Scored 54 today.
Right, right.
At a 40-point difference.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a huge jump.
Hmm.
That's insane. And Arizona knocked off Texas Tech. Um, I didn't see this game. Did you see this game?
Yeah, I had it on while I was watching the Bama game, and Arizona controlled the whole game. It was, moments where Texas Tech looked like they could claw back. They was hanging around that like 10, 12 point mark the whole game. And, they just never really got over that hump, never really made a big enough run to get into it. And Arizona was impressive. I mean, can't discredit them. Arizona played good defense. The offense was clicking. I mean, Arizona was really good today.
Yeah, I didn't see this game. I seen some of Arizona's games earlier in the season. I seen the game when they played Baylor. And I like what they have. I like their team. They shoot the ball well. They're a collective team. They play
Hmm.
together. And according to your words, they came together. They were able to pull out a win. And I, I, I don't know. That if factor of if they show up, if they play hard, I just
Yeah,
that by
yeah.
itself is gonna I don't
You
I
know,
got
I'm still sticking with my prediction, still
yeah.
sticking with Houston. But I hope Arizona can make it a good game from a viewer standpoint.
And then while we're on to Arizona, I know we just talked about this before we got on the Zoom. Caleb Love and how he's just a streaky player. It's
Hmm.
hard. hard with that being your number one guy. When your number one guy is just a streaky and not consistent player, it
Yeah,
puts your team in jeopardy. And so I also think it depends on him. He had 27 tonight, so we'll see how he comes out tomorrow. But we can talk about the other player we were comparing him to, and we can go
yeah.
ahead
Let's go ahead
and
over there.
go to round
Let's hop
three.
over to the ACC.
Round three, Duke versus North Carolina. Duke as a whole, as we know, Coop got hurt, and he's gonna sit tomorrow, sat today. Just gonna let him get healthy for the tournament as they've secured their one seed for the March Madness tournament. At the start of this North Carolina game, I I think we saw Duke's firepower without Coop. We saw a team they could be still a great team without him, but we also saw that Coop is an important factor to this team as they were up at halftime 45 to 24 and the game finished 74-71. So I think UNC was able to find some weaknesses without Coop, with Coop being their number one in all stats led, and they were able to fight back, almost expose the Duke team that is relying on their freshmen, but Duke was able to prevail and win.
Yeah, bro. This is another game that I had on for a while. Ended up changing it to another game. Looked at the box score, and I looked way too late because I looked back and it was a minute 30 left, and
Mhm.
UNC was down three, and I was like, whoa, what
Yeah,
just happened? I tuned back in for that last minute 30 seconds, and it looked like it was gonna go UNC's way until that lane violation, and that, bro, that hurts. That hurts so bad to go out on a lane by like to go from a tie game to down by three because of a lane violation on a free throw is something that I've never even seen before. Like in clutch time to get a lane violation, that's a bonehead play right there, bro.
yeah,
Like there was no need for him to even jump. Like what are we doing?
that's literally the only bonehead. That's the only word you could use for that.
And
That
bro has a little hitch in his free throw. Y'all been teammates for the whole year. Like, come on, dog. That's unacceptable.
yeah, that's bad. That's bad. And would you rather go out on that or a buzzer beater?
I'd rather go out on a buzzer beater
Yeah,
because
I'll pick a buzzer.
most of the time, a buzzer beater is out of my control. It's a good shot. Like, what great shot. Speaking of buzzer beater, the Louisville Stanford game, I tuned into the end of it just because it was a close game, and that's a really bad buzzer beater to go out on.
That's just unfortunate. Like
The ball fell right into his hands,
he
ready to shoot. The
he
ball fell
didn't
into
move
his hands right here.
he didn't move a muscle.
Didn't move at all.
He literally was like,
Cash.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, bro, that was crazy.
I thought that's just like a what do you do?
And it was low key a foul
Yeah,
on
it was.
the guy that tried to outlet it and it ended up going to his hands. It was a foul, and that's not reviewable, I guess, but that's a tough way to go out for Stanford. Your best player goes out and gets fouled out, and then as a senior, you're the best player on the team to foul out and then see your team lose like that from the bench. I know that hurts.
Yeah, that
I know that hurts.
your last tournament, that's how you go out
That's how you go out.
and you're fouled out. You can't do nothing about it.
Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, man.
And Louisville, they were able to pull out another one tonight. Another close game, knocked off Clemson.
They're
Um,
headed to the final.
Head to the final, take on Duke. That's gonna be a game. Louisville. This is a good Louisville team,
Hmm.
a very streaky Louisville team as well, and they're hot right now. And we've seen this team go on. I think they went on a 11 game win streak earlier this season.
Hmm.
I don't. It was. I remember they had 8, and I think they won 3 more after that. But this is a Louisville team that when they get hot, they're hot, and this Duke team without Coop, they've shown that they can be. They could be exposed. But I also feel like you obviously want to win your conference tournament.
Hmm.
But as Duke, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. your result in the tournament doesn't affect what the real tournament coming up.
See, I will say though, it does matter from a sense of as a coach,
As a coach, yeah,
this builds on to your dynasty.
yeah.
Like this builds onto your resume. Uh, I mean, and as a player, obviously you want to win because these conferences are tough. Like if they played in conferences that they were the best team by far, they won every year. All right, it doesn't matter. But like honestly, I take back what I said about Calipari's comments because a team like Arkansas that hasn't won an SEC championship, I don't know when the last time they did, if they have ever won an SEC championship. Like that matters for them.
Mm.
Obviously, you wanna win the national tournament. That's the ultimate goal. But for a team that has never done it before, that is not always there, like for a Duke, I get it. For a Purdue in recent years, I get it. But for a team that is not used to this success, I feel like a conference tournament it matters. It builds your program up. It gives your program reputation.
I also that makes sense. I also look at it as a perspective of type of season you're having. If like a North Carolina, you want to win
Yeah,
the conference tournament because
yeah, yeah,
you didn't have a good season, but and
yeah,
you win the tournament, you're getting into March Madness.
yeah,
But like what's the bottom SEC team? South Carolina.
yeah,
It doesn't like this year it doesn't really I don't think it really matters. Like or like a team like Duke where you're a guaranteed number one seed, you want to win, yeah. Because you want to get as many reps in, as many good games in as you can. But then a loss, you're not I don't think a loss hurts as much as it would for a team that is trying to fight for something, trying
yeah,
to
for sure,
trying to fight for a spot to get in.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I don't think Duke is tripping if they lose to Louisville, honestly. Um, but I will say though about Louisville, I I don't know if they have the keys to beat Duke because of how many silly mistakes they make.
They do make
Um,
it. Yeah.
the game against Clemson today, I was watching for this is another game that right when I turn it off, here come Clemson, make a run, and I look back, it's a 3-point game with 10 seconds left.
March, bro. No, you can't turn on games.
See, but this it's not even about me turning it off because I don't want to watch anymore. It's me turning it off because I'm going upstairs and I'm getting myself ready to do it to I'm brushing my teeth. Like
No, for
I
real though.
I can't even live my life right
Yeah,
now.
you literally can't stop watching the screen. Like you
Like, man,
you blink a team on a 10-0 run. It's like,
it's
what happened?
right. What happened, bro? And I'm on stream meets a lot of the time. Can't rewind. It's all bad. But Louisville, the game against Clemson today, even though that they were up around like 12 for majority of the game. They let Clemson hang in there because of all the turnovers that they made. They made easy missed shots, wide open shots that they're missing. Just bad decisions. And Clemson didn't make them pay for it for a while, I guess, until they started to come back, which I didn't see. But you let a team like you get up on a team like Duke and let them hang in there, they're gonna capitalize. Clemson ended up losing by 3. Duke's a team that turns that around and wins the game.
Yeah.
So for Louisville tomorrow, gotta be better, gotta make less mental mistakes, gotta be more disciplined. You have to play a near perfect game.
Yeah, that's the scary part about playing those superior teams. You get that lead, that 10 to 12 range, and you can't break you can't break out of that. You can't get any
Yeah,
further than that. That's
yeah,
scary.
yeah,
Is all it takes is a three-pointer, a stop, and a layup. Whole momentum shift.
right.
And like you said, turnovers and stuff with a team like Duke, you can't give them any hope, any light of day, because they're gonna
Facts.
they're gonna capitalize and
They're
take
gonna
it.
make you pay.
And Clemson lost by 3. Duke turns that around, wins by 10, 15.
Facts.
So yeah, you have to play a near perfect game with a team like Duke.
Yeah, and I mean, even without Coop, like we saw uh, before North Carolina came back, when I was watching them play, like Duke looked really, really good. Like you
Yeah,
couldn't even tell that Coop was missing, honestly. Like, they were still clicking on all cylinders and they look like a real scary team even without Coop. So you can't underestimate them tomorrow because they don't just because they don't have their best player. And you still have to play the best brand of basketball that you can to give yourself a chance.
yeah. Like UNC, they second half they played nearly perfect basketball. They scored 47 points in the second half. It
Mm-hmm.
just they were too deep in the whole first half because of how powerful Duke was and how they came in the game not ready, not woke, and Duke
Right.
was able to pull pull a large lead up 20 going in the half. And even with almost scoring 50 points in the second half, you a 20-point gap, that's hard to close with a team like Duke.
Yeah, bro. Um, you talked about Duke and Auburn. I want to get into SEC. We talked about how, these two teams, uh, best in the best in the world. The tournament doesn't really matter for them. What'd you see from Auburn today against Ole Miss?
Auburn, Ole Miss or Auburn's always a good game. Start there.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss, they gave them a run. What I saw a lot of Broom. Broom, he's their guy, as we all know. He's the guy. And they went to him in the clutch when they needed him, and he pulled through. But I also seen a lot of resilience from this team. Whistles not going their way, a lot of crazy whistles, but they were able to make plays, make turnovers, and when what they've done all season, when a team goes on a run, tries to close the gap, they just get a big time bucket, and they did that in this game. I don't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Chad Baker Mazara. They Ole Miss was on like a 7-0 run or something. They're coming, and then Chad comes down the court, gets an and one, timely manner, flexes his jersey at the crowd, momentum right back to Auburn, and they're
Right.
seal the game and close it out. They know how to get their timely buckets. They know when to flip a switch at the right time, and it just helps them pull through every time.
For me, I was tuned into the Bama game. I didn't get tuned into Auburn. I tuned in. I was watching a little bit of Florida today against Missouri, and my biggest takeaway of today is the Alabama Crimson Tide. What a basketball team! Perfect game today against Kentucky. Mark Sears even had you could say a bad game, but you couldn't even notice it because the team was just playing such great basketball. And when Alabama's playing like this, I don't think that there's a team that can stop them. Auburn, as good as they are, as good as they've been all season. If Alabama's playing the way they did today, I don't think there's a team in the nation that can stop them. LeBron Phylon is what we're gonna call him. Shout out my dog LeBron. Hey, that boy was hooping, getting to the rack at will, finishing through contact, pushing the pace in transition. What a game he had today. The defense. Let's talk about the defense. Alabama's a team that is the highest scoring team in the nation. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you before, but Alabama is
That's a
the
couple
highest
times.
scoring team in the nation. And the defense today, they scored 99 points and won by 30. Held Kentucky to 60. We're gonna say under 60 because a lot of those points came in garbage time anyway. A lot of block shots, a lot of steals, getting out in transition to complement the fast paced offense. Alabama Crimson Tide, what a game!
Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. I will say this to make you happy. Alabama will be getting the last number one seed spot in the tournament. Yep. You did expect me to say that, did you?
Did not. I expected hate. Not gonna
No,
lie.
Alabama will be getting the last spot, but let's go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, bro. That was the last of the conferences right there. Couldn't even get to the NBA talk. Had so much college basketball to cover. We'll talk about that another episode. But that's it for today. Y'all enjoy these conference finals matchups. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.